I am seriously considering streaming on Kick in some capacity very soon. All right. So you might say, well, why? What's causing this? Why all of a sudden are you thinking about possibly streaming on a different platform than YouTube? Well, there's a couple of reasons. All right. Reason number one is obviously because I've done some work with the guys from Kino Casino, and the Kino Casino guys stream on Kick exclusively, and they in the last month have kind of talked to me about I should basically do some content over there. That Kick is lucrative. That it's a place where if you work there and you're consistent, with some of the work you're doing, there's potential for big earnings, and it's huge earnings compared to any other streaming platform. I'm being told you keep 95% of what you make on Kick as opposed to on YouTube, but you only keep like around 70%. Twitch is even worse. Like, Twitch is literally the worst. At this point, I can't imagine why a single person with a brain in their head would want to be streaming on Twitch, because it just seems to me like a lost cause and a bunch of you're basically paying the wrong people a ton of money to use their site. It doesn't make sense when everyone else is better. So anyway, in regards to Kick, all right, I would make good money if I streamed there and I had a following and they were supportive. I would actually be making more streaming on there than YouTube, because not only is it based on, views, but it's based on how many subs you get, which is how you get support there from your followers. It's subs, people subbing. But it's also, if you get big enough on Kick, you can get into a program, and this takes a while. This is not like a quick thing that's instant, but you can get into a special program where they'll actually pay you to stream. Like, you'll turn on your stream for 2 hours, you'll get paid per hour because you streamed on there. And that's because they're assuming you're making earnings, right? And the earnings are going to even out, based on your performance and stuff. So, that's kind of neat. That's not something that, like, immediately I would get or even really care about. But the fact that there is earnings potential like that long term is kind of neat. There's nothing like that anywhere else. So that's number one, is earnings potential. I'm being told there's big earnings potential on Kick. And by the way, it's not an oversaturated streaming platform right now. For example, if I were to go over there and do certain things, I may be the biggest person on Kick doing particular things. They don't have a lot of ginormous streamers over there, so they'd be more welcoming to someone like me going over there and making content for them, okay? That's number one, okay? Number two, recently, I've started doing a bunch of content that's different from the norm of the content that I used to do, and the content is working, right? And the content is essentially turning out to be good for me, but the content is so different from the stuff that I used to do that it's not in line with what a lot of my longtime viewers have watched. What I mean by that is streaming WWE champions and or drama content that I've been doing for the last month and a half, right? When I do a podcast here and half the podcast is talking about Review Tech USA or COG or Ethan Ralph or LTG, this is not the kind of stuff that I used to do, correct? And then everyone told me my podcast was boring. So I implemented this new content, and now people are like, why is your podcast all drama? And I'm like, now wait a minute. You told me the podcast was boring. So I changed it up. I'm doing different kinds of content, and now you complain that it changed. And it's like, well, you can't have it both ways, right? You can't. So that's the thing, that basically, the way I see it, if I continue to do this content that's a little different, perhaps it makes sense to do it on a different platform, right? If I'm going to be covering drama and I'm going to be talking about other content creators in a dramatic fashion, a little feuding back and forth and stuff like that, then maybe it makes sense to separate it from my already established content on YouTube, right? And that way it won't hinder the content here, right? For example, the WWE Champion stuff, let's be honest, it's mobile gaming. It's incredibly different from the other kind of gaming content that I do on this channel. I'm spending money to pull in the game, and a lot of people are like uncomfortable with that because they're like, oh, isn't that kind of like gambling? It's not. It's not gambling because it's in-game. It's the same as pulling packs in FIFA or a sports game, right? But I get it. Like, I totally understand that people are like, this is not the kind of content that you were doing. And it's so different. You know what I'm saying? It's jarring to see you do it and stream this just in your normal schedule here. So the thing is, on Kick, that kind of shit is like welcomed. That kind of shit is like bring it more in, right? To see people do games of chance, that's what they want over there. So this champion stream are like a no-brainer to be over there, right? But let's say, for example, that we're in a situation where there's drama going on, and I want to address it, but I know for a fact that if I spend half my podcast talking about it, people are going to get upset with me. They're like, man, no, more drama, more drama. Maybe doing a random night stream every once in a while over on Kick, and you could say, oh, it's a drama stream. I'm going to address this and this and this, and we're going to watch these clips back, and we're going to do this. But it's done on a different platform, right? That way, again, it separates itself from my existing content, so it doesn't feel like I'm hindering what I want to do or the kind of content I want to do here, right? So there you go. And Fed Rogers says, political show on Kick. Dude, if I was going to do politics of any capacity, I would not be doing it here on YouTube. I'm just telling you right now, you're not going to see Darkside Phil doing a whole political shtick here on YouTube. I would definitely want to separate that and do that somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? By the way, my bad, because Cabal did a super chat 15 minutes ago, and I didn't read it out because I was doing the schedule. He says, it's a $10 super chat, by the way. Maybe you could take your drama content and interviews over to Kick. They could be uncut and then bring that here edited in line with the terms of service. Well, what I could do is very similar to what I've been doing with the podcast. I could do it. Let's say I do a random night stream, right? And this whole night stream just happens to be about, I don't know, Ethan Ralph, right? We're talking about Ethan Ralph for like an hour. He said something about me. I say something back about him and crap like that. You know what I'm saying? So I do the stream over there on Kick, the live stream. I have interaction with the audience. I take in support. All of that happens live on Kick. But I record it locally, and then I clip out the highlights, and I upload them to the channel in a highlight manner. So you can choose whether or not you want to actually watch it here on YouTube, right? And it's the selected clips that make sense that would fit YouTube. You see? I think that could work pretty well. Excuse me. So, you know, this is what I'm thinking, okay? Now, here's the thing. Everything that I've talked about right now makes sense, right? Making more money when I stream on Kick, because the opportunity is there. I just don't know if it's going to work out or not. And also, the fact that I already have content that would absolutely fit Kick's formula, whether it's the WWE Champions or the drama streams and stuff like that, hangout sessions, right? But there are definitely some negatives. Are you ready for the negatives? Because there are quite a few, I would think. Okay? So, number one, Kick does not allow you to broadcast at high bit rates. Okay? Right now, this stream on YouTube, I am broadcasting at, I want to say 15,000, maybe even higher than that. What's my bit rate right now? Hold on, I'm going to find out. Yeah, I'm broadcasting on YouTube at 15,000 kilobits per second. 15,000, that's incredibly high. All right, it's probably not good enough for a great 4K stream, but it's definitely good enough for, you know, like a standard 1080p stream. That's why I do it at that quality. That's why my streams look so good, because I'm broadcasting at a very big bit rate, okay? On Kick, I'm almost positive, I think the highest they can do is 8,500, all right? So that's what I mean when I say if I'm going to stream on Kick, it has to be a certain kind of content. I don't want to be streaming the hot new release game that you want to see the absolute best quality. The graphics are great. I'm not going to be doing that on Kick. It wouldn't make sense. I'd be hindering the quality of my stream. You see? Like, I'll be honest. For example, the guys at Kino Casino said if you played Street Fighter over here, you would be the biggest Street Fighter player on Kick, hands down. Like, no one's playing Street Fighter on Kick. And I was like, that's true, but man, my stream would look like garbage. I know it would. Like, it would be pixelated. It would look choppy. That was the problem with when I used to do Street Fighter content at the lower bitrate. It just didn't work. It wasn't looking good at all. So honestly, I don't think I would ever want to or be able to do high quality gaming on Kick. I would have to limit it to certain kinds of content. Like me just talking to the camera would be perfect on Kick, right? Or me doing WWE Champions, or who gives a crap about the graphics of the mobile game, right? That would definitely work, you see? But doing all this high quality gaming would not work for Kick because of that big limitation, all right? So that's number one. Number two, this I can't confirm yet, because I haven't actually done it yet. I haven't done a stream over there. But everyone keeps telling me the moderation over on Kick is terrible. That the chat gets absolutely out of control. You get people on there with bot accounts and issues, and that it's basically like a big problem. Like the moderation is wildly insufficient to have a stream that's kind of under control. And considering the fact that I am who I am, like I know I'm Darkside Phil, I know that I have a giant group of detractors who follow me no matter where I go. The first thing they're going to try to do is ruin that chat experience. Now, if I'm on a new platform, right, and I'm trying to have great interaction, I'm trying to give shout outs for supporters, how am I going to do that if the chat is completely out of control, right? I don't know. And it's funny because I keep getting mixed signals about it. Some people absolutely say, yeah, it's terrible over there. And then others are like, no, that's not true. It's improved and it's better. One Sick Puppy just said the chat is better on Kick. There's less bots, actually. You see? So, I don't know. Lady Charisma says, from personal experience, I haven't even been in a single Kick chat where someone doesn't call me a slur. I mean, and listen, I get that. Like, it seems like when you have a business where they outright say basically everything goes, that's the kind of element you're going to get. You're going to get way more of those people who want to go, and they purposely want to be malicious. They're there for that reason. They're there because they know they can't get away with that kind of behavior elsewhere. So then they all kind of gather at the place where they know that they can get away with that stuff, right? Guys, hold on one second. I've got an annoying thing on my finger here. I want to go clip it with a clipper. I hate this because it bothers me when this happens. I'll literally be right back in a moment, and we're going to continue on with this discussion, okay? Okay. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. Okay, so continuing the discussion. You know, the other thing that I'm thinking about is like early on when I looked into it, and when you start streaming on Kick, you can't earn anything yet. Okay? You have to stream 5 hours to qualify for the early affiliate program, which means then people can buy subscriptions for your channel. And the thing is, you know, if I'm streaming over there for 5 hours or whatever, I'm not going to get paid for it, right? And that's not a big deal. That would be what, like 2 night streams, right? But I'm wondering, what else can you do? Like, are bots allowed over there? Could I have a Nightbot come over and be able to, like, give links to my content? Like, for example, right now, if I'm streaming on Kick, let's say I was streaming right now on Kick. I couldn't make anything. But I'd want people to say, hey, if you want to contribute, please tip. Can I even do that on Kick? Is there a way to say, hey, here's the link, tip through that link. Here's my, my PayPal page, or, I don't know how it works. I'd have to kind of like figure all this out, right? By the way, just for the record, I know for a fact that you can set up blocked words and moderation tools on Kick. I was in the dashboard this morning, just looking around briefly to see what was there, and it said right there, you have a whole list of blocked words. So I can make it that people cannot be coming in and saying slurs and things like that. Of course, what could actually happen is people just undermine it anyway by changing the spelling and stuff like that. And that's the kind of stuff that happens everywhere. That happens on YouTube. That happens everywhere, right? There you go. So, yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure the guys at Kino Casino, they have a place where you can donate direct if you want, but they push the subs because why wouldn't they? When Kick is taking such a small percentage, just push the subs. It's the easiest thing to do. Have people just sub to the channel, right? So anyway, the way it works, I looked at it, and there's like a tiered system. Hold on, I can actually bring it up. I'm not going to bring it up over here and show you on screen because this is my personal, dashboard. And I have no idea how this works and if anything here would be exposed and be a problem. But if you go here, so the way it works, I go to achievements, right? So here's what it says. Build your community. You need to get 75 followers on your channel. I literally have done nothing but chat in the Kino Casino chat room while they stream, and I have over 100 followers on Kick right now. So that's complete. Hang out with your community, stream for a total of 5 hours, right? Once you've done those two things, you qualify for subs. So all I have to do is stream on Kick for 5 hours, and I qualify for getting subscribers on there. I mean, I could easily do 2 night streams, and by the end of the second night stream, I qualify for subs, right? Of course, I would have to sign up and do all the information. Then after that, once you have the subs, then you get your verification, which is how you get the check mark, and I think you get other features. So you need to get 20 paid subscribers that aren't gifted, but 20 legit paid subscribers. You need to have 75 viewers on average in a 30-day period, so you can't even get verification for 30 days. You need to stream 12 days out of 30. And I think that would be my challenge because like I told you guys, if I stream on Kick, it's probably just going to be WWE Champions and maybe a random stream here or there where I do like a drama hangout or something like that. I don't foresee myself streaming 12 streams in a month on Twitch. On Kick. So that might be my biggest hurdle because I'm just not planning on streaming that much over there, right? Putting the time in, stream for a total of 30 hours in 30 days. Again, if I'm doing 2 3-hour streams, and I do it 2-3 times a week, I might not hit that 30 hours. I don't know if I would even hit that. And then get people chatting, have 200 unique chatters. That will happen probably the first night that I'm on Kick. I'll have 200 unique chatters, right? So that's what's weird. And then here's the Kick incentive program. This is where you're so big on Kick, you can get paid hourly. In that case, you have to have a total of 25 paid subscribers. You have to reach an average of 100 viewers in 30 days. Stream for 15 days out of 30 days. Stream for a total of 50 hours in 30 days. And have 500 unique chatters and reach 1,500 followers. Okay? Here's the thing. I could do most of these. Like, I think I could do most of these. Just not all, unless I streamed a lot on Kick. I don't know how I would get those hour requirements. That might be the biggest hurdle. But the thing is, if I'm just getting subs and the subs are that profitable over there, right? Let's say twice a week I stream WWE Champions on Kick, okay? And then once a week I do like a drama stream or a chill stream where we hang out on Kick and we talk about anything. Anything goes stream. Maybe that's what we could call it. Anything goes with the king. Once a week. A random stream of that, right? So if I do those 3 streams a week and I'm getting subs and I'm getting tips, then I don't think it matters that I'm not qualifying for the higher tier program, right? I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, the way I see it, I'm thinking about doing a test stream on Kick to see how it works. I would have to change my streaming bitrate through OBS, but I think it would be a WWE Champion stream. I'm actually seriously considering it this Saturday. I'm not going to do it tonight because tonight would be too fast, and I would want to talk about it and get people to know that it's going to happen and all of that, right? But my fear is that, number one, the chat's going to go wild, right? That's number one. I don't know how I'm going to keep it under control because I don't know how I'm going to get like a moderating team. You know what I'm saying? And number two, getting everything working that first night. I don't want, imagine if I do a stream and there's like, hundreds to a thousand viewers on there to see Phil on Kick, and then the whole thing fucks up. Right? Like, let me just botch my first appearance on Kick, I don't know. Red King, it's totally not about farming drama. It's not what we're talking about. It's WWE Champions, which I'm already doing. And it's maybe one stream a week where we just do kind of anything goes, night stream. And that's it. Jade says he would not go to Kick. Yeah, Jade, again, I totally understand that it's not for everyone. And like I said, it would be selective content. I would not be taking my podcast to Kick. I would not be taking my game playthroughs and stuff like that to Kick. It would only be select content that would go to Kick. Okay? So, that's what I'm thinking about. All right? And that way, here's the thing. No one's going to be upset if a couple streams a week or somewhere else, right? Because I'm still here most of the time. All the content that you still like from YouTube will still be here on this channel, right? So there you go. So let's talk about it over the week, but I'm seriously thinking about trying one stream, okay? Just one, and see how it goes. And if it's a train wreck, and the quality is terrible, and the connection's terrible, and the experience is terrible, then I might not do it again, right? But I feel like, I've got opportunity now. I've got people who are interested in me, would be willing to support and jump on to a new style of content on a new site. And here's the deal, folks. Here's the deal. I want you to go back in time, all right, to 2012 and 2013. And here's why I want you to go back in time for a little bit, all right? Back in time, around that time period, everyone was saying to me, Phil, you need to adapt. You need to change. You need to jump on new opportunities. You are recording your gameplay with a camera pointed at a TV, all right? It doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. We want you to improve. And I said, well, wait a minute. My core fan base is used to me recording with a camera. They tell me they want me to continue to make content in this method, that this is what they're used to. This is what they like. This is what feels safe and regular. That's why they want me to keep making content like that. Why would I change my style of content when my core fan base is telling me they're happy with what I'm doing? And basically, some people who I completely ignored, and this is my fault and I regret it now, they said to me, you are going to become a dinosaur. You're going to become the guy from 2010 to 2012 was popular on YouTube, and you're going to fade into obscurity because no one's going to continue to watch a gamer play with a camera. They want direct capture and they want live streaming, and you're not doing either of those, and that's a huge problem. You're missing out, right? And I just sat there and I put my fingers in my ears like this, and I went, meh, 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 and I ignored it. I ignored all the feedback, the positive, constructive criticism that I was receiving. I ignored every piece of it, okay? I continued to record with a camera throughout 2012 into 2013, and I had a big fall off where people were just not watching anymore, and I literally became the laughing stock of the internet. This is how you don't play hit. And everyone said, well, Phil's an idiot. He's a dumb, stubborn dinosaur. No one should care about this man. Everything's passed him by. Technology, streaming, it's all better than what Phil does. And I basically lost my place as a top gaming creator because I ignored everyone's feedback on it. Like, I literally purposefully ignored what people were telling me. I feel like today, this is that situation all over again. All right? I don't want to abandon my core fan base that likes what I'm doing today at all. In fact, I want the vast majority of my content to be here on YouTube, streamed here, highest quality. I mean, again, I'm streaming games at a great quality that I cannot do anywhere else. I've got 60 frames per second stuff going on. It's amazing, right? But for me, right, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I've got another group of people who like me and are saying, come over and try this out. You don't have to change your entire business model. You don't have to, completely be a different person. But you're already doing kinds of content now that would fit what happens over on Kick. And it would benefit you tremendously. You know what I'm saying? And Snarf says, Kick's emote system can be abused by posting your incident face around racist emotes. You got to know this could be bad. Well, what do you mean? How would that affect me? I'm not going to have those. So if I don't have them, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what you mean. Unless you're saying other people would have them. Yeah, and then if someone comes and spams it, you ban them. Right? So who cares? I mean, that could be said for Twitch as well, right? Like that shit on Twitch. YouTube, you're right. YouTube's a little bit of a safer environment because you can only use the emotes that are universal or from your own channel in the chat. So you can't have someone, for example, who's a troll of mine, have a really awful emote and then try to put it in the chat, right? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Just trying it. Doing a stream of WWE champions over there, seeing how it goes. The bummer is, the first stream, I'm not going to have anything really enabled. There won't be subs, right? It's just going to be, we're doing a stream, and I hope that I can get support in other means. Because, for example, the WWE champion streams are popular because people like to see me do a mega pull. I do a mega pull once I raise enough to do it. Well, if I can't raise anything, then how am I going to do it? Right? So I'm going to have to be reliant that particular night just on tips. People would have to commit and say, okay, that night that you're doing your first Kick stream, you can't make any other revenue. We'll tip you so you can hit the goal and then you can do the mega pull, right? So, yeah, this is, there's a lot to think about. I think we should talk about it more, but I'm seriously considering at least doing one stream on Kick to see how it goes. Okay? Yeah, exactly. I know it's going to be risky. I know you're going to have every troll idiot is going to try to fuck around. And that's what I mean. Like, can you get Nightbot to work on Kick? Or does Kick have their own bot system? Like, what is in place for Kick for moderation? Because I can't just let the chat run unhindered or uncontrolled. That's not even going to be a safe viewing environment, I feel, right? But I don't know how you could get it under control. See, and then you get, are you ready for this? You love this, right? All this time, my detractors saying, see, Phil's boring, his content sucks, he refuses to do this, he refuses to do that. So now I'm going to change a little bit. I'm going to branch out. Hey, maybe I'll leave your stream somewhere else. And then I get a super chat from someone whose name is Constructive Criticism. Whatever happened about you don't like drama, you don't like it. So I got feedback. I'm changing per the feedback I received, and that's a bad thing to you. That my opinion is I'm warming up to changing for the better, Like literally the only reason that in the last 2 months there's been any growth or any change in positivity here is because I have changed. You understand that? I consider doing things differently. The old Phil would never have gone on Kino Casino because he thinks it's a drama show. Correct? The old Phil would have never had Keemstar on his show. Correct? The old Phil would have never sat there and reacted to 12 hours of a documentary about himself, admitting all of his shortcomings left, right, up, and down. The old Phil would have said, nope, I want to ignore all of that and just sit here and play video games. And the old Phil would have stayed in his lane, did absolutely nothing to branch out, and the old Phil would be right back where we were with no growth, no change, no positivity, no interest. Just my core fan base, and that's it. Now, I very well could continue to operate like that for the rest of my life. But maybe in some cases, it makes sense to try some different things. I literally just explained that 12 years ago, I was in a very similar position to where I am today, and I chose to stick my fingers in my ears and say, I can't hear you, and do the same thing. And that was the cause of my major downfall as a content creator. Do you understand that? So that's why thinking about changing, trying to expand, trying to be different, listening to the input I'm getting is a good thing. And if you try it and it doesn't work, then what's the big deal? Nothing has been lost. It was a stream or two, right? It's not the big deal. So, right? See, here we go. No, you're abandoning all of your morals and your principles. No. I'm not going to immediately start doing content that all I'm doing is attacking people and ripping people a new butthole. I'm basically taking a look at things that have been towards me for so long and just throwing it back in their faces, right? Who have I been talking about all week? Review Tech, my biggest A-logger in the last 10 years, who literally all he's done is sat on his stream making fun of me, and he made about $100,000 or more doing it. Do you understand? This guy has made more than 6 figures of bank literally ragging on me. I have every right to clap back at that fucker. Do you understand? That's not abandoning my morals. I'm not sitting here just looking at the news and calling it out in a dramatic fashion. I'm not picking on random people on the internet and punching down. That's not what's happening. People who have already gave me shit. That's who I'm addressing. That's who I'm bringing up. Ethan Ralph did that before I even knew who he was. He was talking shit about me. LTG, are you kidding me? Talked about me many, many times over the years, and I never said a word, and now finally he gets some of that shit back. These are all people who fucking came at the king first. You understand? This is not, hey, it's Phil's drama show where I just pick random people off the internet and make fun of them. That's not what I'm doing. And the fact that you don't understand that proves you're a dunce. Because you paid me $10 to leave 2 really stupid comments, and I keep your money. Man, you're dumb. Patrick, with an $11 super chat, which is now the biggest super chat of the day, says, fortune favors the bold. Be bold, Phil. Step out of your comfort zone and try to evolve. There you go. Thank you very much, Patrick. And then here's the other funny part about it, too, is that already my longtime fans and viewers are like, you know, we don't really enjoy the drama stuff. It gets you views. Like, take a look at my most viewed videos on this channel in the last week. You want to know what the most viewed videos are? Every single drama highlight I took out of the podcast and the Silent Hill 2 videos from day one. That's my biggest content. Everything else, you know, once you get through past the first day of a game, the views drop off, right? Excuse me. Oh, my God. What does my wife think? My wife says, I already told you what she said. She said, it's very simple. Don't be afraid to do new stuff, but at the same time, do not completely change who you are. You got where you got because of your core fan base, right? You know, no one wants to see Darkside Phil become a full-on drama streamer, content creator, the villain of the internet who just attacks everyone, including me. I don't want to be that either, right? I just want to do some different stuff. And if it means that I do it in a different place because it separates it from the other content I make, I think it makes sense, right? I do. I think that would actually make legit sense. Now listen to this. Not Fast Enough says you're going to lose way more fans going to Kick purely off the stigma of the website. It begs the question, what's the motive of it? What fans are outright going to quit? Like if I'm only doing WWE Champions and maybe one random hangout session a week over there. Pops. Maybe 3 night streams, right? And everything else is here. My podcast continues. My major game playthroughs continue. Why would you quit? Like, what would you even do that for? That's also like, this is hilarious because that's just so hypocritical because that's like also saying, well, nothing bad ever happens on YouTube either. So it's totally fine for Phil to make content on YouTube because everything on YouTube is 100% kosher, but Kick is the devil. What, are you crazy? Have you any concept of what happens on YouTube on a daily basis and what they allow here? Some of the most messed up stuff you've ever seen. They don't even police this site unless someone reports shit, right? Cracker Jacks asks, would it be possible to dual stream, to stream to both sites at the same time? Not right now. There's no way I'd be able to dual stream with this PC. It just wouldn't be possible, okay? I would want to upgrade, get a better PC, split that that workload, because then I might even be able to stream at one quality to one site and one quality to the other side. But that's just, it's not going to happen right now. You know, and that's funny. A2A says, I don't even understand the stigma comment. It's like a better Twitch. The bottom line is none of these streaming services are squeaky clean, right? Twitch is fucking abhorrent with the shit that they do over there. It really is. I'm sorry. It's just, it's insanely bad over there. And they're just a horrible company when it comes to how they run the company. Insanely unprofessional. YouTube has tons of issues, namely with copyright, with content ID, with impersonation, with bullying allowed and shit like that. It's just terrible. You know what I'm saying? Lady Charisma, I understand what you're saying, but what you're saying is exactly applies to YouTube as well. Lady Charisma says, Kick allows so much, they don't ban unless they get pressed. YouTube doesn't ban unless they get pressed. As long as they're making money, YouTube allows anything. Okay? There's entire channels on YouTube that are 100% defamation, bullying. You can flag the channel for bullying and they don't do anything. They don't care. YouTube is just as bad. That's pretty... I understand what you're saying. People literally go to Kick because they want to have that uncensored factor, correct? And Kick allows that. That I understand. That at that point you're making, I get. I would do my best to try to stop that with my streams. There's words I can block. There's bots I can put in place. I want to have a place where it's not going to be people coming in and saying every awful word under the sun, every insult, every doxing and shit. You know, I can't have that. I got to make sure that we find a way to try to control that over there, right? But the point that you're saying, oh, they don't ban anyone unless they get pressed. YouTube is just as bad. They don't give a crap. YouTube barely ever enforces anything. It's ridiculous. What if Kick offered me an undeniable deal to move there permanently? I would not move. I even told you I can't move. Like, my content is higher quality than what Kick allows. Do you understand? Like, the actual bitrate and stuff that I record and broadcast at would not work on Kick. I wouldn't even be able to do Silent Hill 2 at 1080p, 60 frames, and the bitrate I do, it wouldn't work. They only allow 8,500 kilobits. It would look like shit. So that wouldn't make sense. They would, if they offered me, hey, you'll come here and do this style of content, this certain kind of content exclusively here, that's different. Because then if it's acceptable at what I'm doing, but I can't just move my whole business over there. Even if they wanted me to, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't work. You see? Again, if I had a better PC, all this could be different, because someone says, I don't understand, why isn't that good enough for 1080p? Because my fucking PC is 10 years old. I'm using an over 10-year-old PC. It can't do good things at low bit rate. If I have a new streaming PC, if I spend a lot of money and I end up buying a brand new streaming PC that has a, you know, top of the line graphics card, better capture card, then maybe I could be doing these things at a lower bit rate. I can't right now. It's just not possible. I'm using insanely outdated stuff. Get it? There you go. Tob just did a $12.50 super chat and says, I've been watching you for years, and let me say you're one of the most intelligent, smart, handsome, and brilliant men I've ever seen. Sexy men get trashed on. Tob throbs for you. That's insanely disturbing. Incredibly disturbing. But thank you for the super chat, Tob. Tob throbs. Oh my god. Tob throbs. That was a $12.50 super chat. Wow. So by the way, guys, we've been talking about this topic now for a bit. I think we've talked about it enough for today's stream, right?